Hello everyone. When you think of disaster ships, you probably think of the Titanic or the Mary Celeste, but friend, there's another to rival them. Enter the SS Jeddah. It was a British ship owned by a guy in Singapore and was used to ferry Muslims on pilgrimage from East Asia to Jeddah. A very creative name. On July 17th, 1880, the ship set off from Singapore and sailed west. The journey was largely uneventful, just with a little flooding and bailing of water needed. Until August 3rd. Off the coast of Somalia, hurricane-force winds and rough waters jostled the boilers out of place, so the crew re-wedged them back in. Like, that'll do it. Leaks began to spread across the ship, so it was stopped for repairs. In the immortal words of Kesha, it's going down. The passengers began to bail out the water. The ship then tipped over, and the pipes for the boilers were washed away. They then tried to set up the sails, but they quickly blew away too, so now the ship was stuck. At this point, the tensions were very high. The captain, one Joseph Lucas Clark, decided to skedaddle, so ordered the lifeboats to be lowered. The other passengers, who had been bailing the water, tried to stop Clark and the officers. They threw all manner of things onto the lowering boats, including the first mate. I guess you could say, checkmate. In the end, the captain, his wife, and some of the crew sailed on the lifeboats and were picked up by another ship. They were taken to land and started telling everyone that a mutiny had occurred and that the ship had sunk. But the captain was a dirty liar, and the mighty SS Jeddah continued to sail. The remaining officers on board tried to run away too and steal a second lifeboat, but caught. After a scuffle, it fell into the sea with a few passengers on board. But hey, at least the sharks were happy. So now the boat had no captain and no lifeboats. It also had no way of moving on its own accord. The pilgrims just kept bailing as the boat continued to fill up with water. They also put up distress signals. They decided to beach themselves in Somalia like a sad and explosive whale. They were in, and I quote, a quasi-derelict condition. What they didn't know was that the entire coastline was made up of massive cliffs and they'd all just die anyway. Luckily, they were spotted by the SS Antinor and its first mate came aboard. Alright, nothing to see here, just a boat missing a captain, lifeboat, engine, and a sail. It was eventually dragged to Aden, the exact same port where Clark was. Oh bugger. In the end, Clark's master's certificate for sailing was suspended for 3 years, which is pretty light considering that he left over 1,000 people to drown. The event was such a controversy that it inspired Joseph Conrad to write Lord Jim, a book you likely haven't read. As for the boat itself, it was renamed to Diamond and was used again after, which is either very brave or very stupid. Well then,